the camera's rolling, your heart pounds. It's thrilling to me.
We got a big championship weekend, and we'll start in the AFC. The Bills-Chiefs, where the line opened up with the Bills -1.5, maybe because they saw Patrick Mahomes go down and Chad Henne step in. That probably affected the spread, but now it's Chiefs -3.5. And before we get into picking this game, let's talk about this concussion protocol, because after their game against the Browns, Andy Reid made some comments on this in his press conference. Stopped short of saying that Patrick Mahomes did suffer a concussion, so he's never confirmed that, but he did confirm that he is in concussion protocol. So what exactly is that? For people watching who've never been a part of the NFL and don't understand these new rules, the concussion protocol rules and regulations were really put into place after Tom Savage in December of the 2017 season was seen shaking on the ground after suffering what appeared to be a neurological or brain injury, potentially concussion, and basically was allowed to go back into the game and play once he was cleared, 1 by himself, 2 by trainers, and 3 by team doctors. So the idea is to take this decision out of the players, trainers, and doctors' hands when they clearly have a dog in the fight, right? They have a vested interest in this player returning to the game, so you can't, in effect, will yourself back into the game when you can suffer a neurological injury. That was the basis for it. Now, whether you suffered a concussion or not, to be in protocol, which is what Andy Reid said Patrick Mahomes is going through, that means you have to go through a certain amount of steps, and there's an independent doctor that eventually will have to clear you. Step 1. The player can engage based on their symptoms in stretching, balance training, light aerobic exercise. Step 2, the player can engage in cardiovascular exercise and dynamic stretching. You basically progress through step 2 when you can pass a baseline neurological balance test that has to match your baseline test from the off season before you would have had any neurological issues. Step 3, we're back on the field doing some limited football specific activities for no more than 30 minutes administered by an athletic trainer, not a coach. Step 4, non-contact football activities, throwing, running, jumping, all of the sort. Then another set of tests would have to match or surpass what your baseline results are, same ones from the offseason. Step 5, and the final step, the team doctor has to clear the player for contact activities. Then you got to get an independent neurological consultant, or INC, to clear the player independently of the team doctor and basically confirm or reaffirm his decision. Once these two doctors are on the same page and clear the player, he is then effectively cleared to play in the next game. But then you're asking, how long does all this take? And there's no specific timeline, but through the 2015 through 2019 season, the median average time for players to return, specifically quarterbacks, has been 7 days. So they got to put their foot on the gas pedal and make sure that Patrick Mahomes is jumping over these hurdles, jumping through these hoops at a pretty quick clip. Most importantly for Patrick Mahomes is his health and his long-term health, neurologically speaking. But I got to imagine you can't find a doctor in Kansas City that wouldn't clear this kid to play. So assuming he plays and he's back to normal, just nursing his regular toe injury or whatever it was that had him potentially sidelined in that game and slowed him down a little bit, him being back on the field poses a major threat to whoever the Chiefs play. In this case, the Bills, they're going to have their hands full. But I will say, I like the Chiefs in this game as much as I love Josh Allen and the way that Bills team is playing. I like the home team here, and it's because of Chad Henne. We had him on the show this week. He just seems so calm, so ready for a moment like this, should he be called on. I like the Chiefs. I like their firepower. I like his mobility. You heard him here on the show talk about 2 hitches, and if nobody's open, I'm taking off. And he looked just as fast as Patrick Mahomes did with that toe injury on that 14-yard scramble. So if Chad Henne's called on, I think he's ready. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, and it's going to be a nail-biter. Should be a fun one to watch. NFC Championship game, Bucs at the Packers. Tom Brady, the GOAT, against Aaron Rodgers, the BOAT, the best of all time? I don't even know. But it's at Lambeau Field. What a storied tradition at this field. And then to get Tom Brady there in a Bucs uniform on the road, Wow. I just want to talk about Tom Brady for a second, and what he's doing at his age is truly remarkable. And this win he had last week, if I would have told you before the game that Tom Brady would throw for less than 200 yards and Godwin, Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Scotty Miller, and Antonio Brown would account for around, 8 catches and just over 100 yards, I would have said they would have got blown out by the Saints just like they did the second time they played during the regular season. But Tom Brady had this team on a different level. He played an incredibly smart and intelligent game. He took care of the football. He willed this team to victory, understood that this game could potentially be a war of attrition, and the way his defense was playing, this defense was active. They got after the football. They got after Drew Brees. They forced him into some errant throws. And wow, did Tom Brady just put on a masterclass in how to quarterback and manage a game. Hats off to Tom Brady. As much as I love that performance, I don't know if it's enough this week on the road at Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers and Devonte Adams have something so special going on, and nobody can stop these guys. I don't know what Todd Bowles and that Buccaneers defense is going to do to try and bottle up Devonte Adams, to even try and slow him down. He's going to be a tall order. The way Aaron Rodgers is playing at home, and I understand the Bucs got after this team early in the season, but that was never a concern to me. It's not like the Bucs showed them something on defense that they could never come back from, that they didn't have an answer for. I think just Aaron Rodgers didn't have his best day, and the game got away from him. The momentum was on the Bucs side during the regular season, and they just rode that to the finish and kind of embarrassed Green Bay. So they still got a bad taste in their mouth about the Buccaneers. I know some key issues for Green Bay is that offensive line with Bakhtiari and potentially another offensive lineman out. What they're going to have to do is get that ball out of Aaron's hands fast, and remember that they can run the ball. It's okay to run the ball. They have a solid running game, and if you look at their second drive of the game, they marched it right down the field with the rushing attack, and then ended up throwing the quick throw to Devonte Adams. So this team is built for success. They're built for the cold, and they're ready to play at home. I'm going to take the Packers. I know it's the Packers -4. I don't know if they cover. I'd say the Packers by 3 or maybe even 1. Another nail biter, I believe, that goes down to the wire, and potentially the quarterback with the ball last wins this thing. But Aaron Rodgers has just been on fire this year. I don't see him losing this game.